Welcome back to MMA Flicks, your go-to source for all the latest news and updates in the world of mixed martial arts. So let's dive right in. Justin Gaethje confident in Dustin Poirier rematch, but some skepticism remains. Former foes Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier are both sitting at the top of the lightweight division in the UFC and are currently without opponents, making a rematch between the two fighters a tantalizing prospect. Gaethje, who previously faced Poirier in a thrilling battle in 2018 that was hailed as Fight of the Year, is eager to step into the octagon with Poirier once again, but there are doubts among some about whether Poirier will accept the challenge. Gaethje acknowledged that while no official offer has been made for the rematch, he is confident that Poirier will agree to it, considering their rankings and the lack of other viable opponents for both fighters. However, Gaethje also acknowledged that there are some who believe Poirier may decline the rematch, given his financial success and the risks involved in facing Gaethje again. While Poirier has not indicated any lack of interest in a rematch with Gaethje, Gaethje is aware that anything can happen in the fight game and that Poirier may have other options. Gaethje is hopeful that Poirier will ultimately choose to fight him again, as he sees it as a win-win for both fighters in terms of their standings in the division. In addition to the potential title implications of a rematch with Poirier, Gaethje also has personal motivations for seeking a second fight with his former opponent. Gaethje has improved significantly as a fighter since their first encounter 5 years ago, and he would love the opportunity to prove that in a rematch. Gaethje also believes that a rematch with Poirier has the potential to be a pay-per-view headliner, given their established drawing power and the excitement they bring to the octagon. However, Gaethje also emphasized that fair compensation from the UFC would be important if he were offered a main event clash with Poirier, as he would be willing to accept a 3-round fight if the pay is not commensurate with the added risk of a 5-round bout. Gaethje believes that the most dangerous rounds in a fight are the 4th and 5th rounds, and he would need to be compensated accordingly to accept a longer fight. Despite the uncertainty surrounding a potential rematch with Poirier, Gaethje remains confident in his skills and is eager to step back into the octagon with his former opponent. Overall, Justin Gaethje is optimistic about the possibility of a rematch with Dustin Poirier, but acknowledges that there are some doubts and uncertainties surrounding the fight. He remains focused on his own preparations and is willing to accept a 3-round fight if the compensation is not favorable, while also recognizing the potential for the rematch to be a headline-worthy pay-per-view event. Gaethje is eager to prove his skills and seek revenge against Poirier, and fans are eagerly anticipating a potential rematch between these two exciting fighters. Controversial UFC fighter Jorge Masvidal drew criticism from fans after he brandished a gun during an episode of UFC 287 Embedded, in an attempt to emulate the character Tony Montana from the movie Scarface. Masvidal waved the firearm around, quoting lines from the fictional Miami drug lord, despite his recent aggravated battery arrest in 2022. Masvidal assured viewers that the gun was not loaded, but fans were quick to express their concerns on social media, calling him a moron and questioning the wisdom of flaunting weapons before his criminal trial. Masvidal is set to make his return to the octagon in a co-headlining bout against Gilbert Burns on April 8, 2023, but his reckless behavior has raised eyebrows and sparked controversy among UFC fans. Some even joke that Masvidal's bail conditions may be violated, leading to potential legal consequences. Despite his colorful personality and penchant for movie references, Masvidal's latest stunt has left many scratching their heads and questioning his judgment. So, while Masvidal may see himself as a real-life Scarface, his actions have not been met with the same admiration from the UFC community. The potential consequences of his reckless behavior remain to be seen. Will Masvidal's antics in and out of the octagon affect his future in the UFC? Only time will tell. In the meantime, his recent display of wielding a gun has left many shaking their heads and raising concerns about his judgment and behavior. It's clear that Masvidal's actions have not been well received by fans, and his upcoming fight against Burns will likely be met with added scrutiny. One thing is for sure, Masvidal's attempt to channel Scarface has certainly backfired in the court of public opinion. Whether or not it will have lasting consequences remains to be seen. But for now, Masvidal's gun-waving antics have left many questioning his choices and behavior. As his legal battles continue and his return to the octagon approaches, it remains to be seen how this controversial figure will navigate the fallout from his latest controversy. In the world of mixed martial arts, it seems that even the biggest fighters can still make some very small mistakes. And for Masvidal, his recent gun-waving incident has certainly not gone unnoticed. As the dust settles, only time will tell how Masvidal's actions will impact his career and reputation in the UFC. But one thing is clear: this reckless attempt to emulate Scarface has not been well received by fans or the public at large. Masvidal would be wise to reconsider his choices and actions moving forward, lest he find himself facing even more consequences in the future. After all, in the world of professional fighting, one wrong move can be a knockout blow to a fighter's career. Only time will tell if Masvidal can recover from this latest misstep and regain the respect of the UFC community. But for now, his gun-waving antics have left many shaking their heads and questioning his judgment. It remains to be seen how this controversy will impact Masvidal's career, but one thing is clear: this attempt to emulate Scarface has not been met with the same admiration as his favorite movie character. It's time for Masvidal to put down the guns and focus on what really matters: his performance in the octagon. Anything less could be a fatal mistake for this controversial UFC fighter. Let's hope he learns from this incident and makes better choices in the future. The clock is ticking, and Masvidal's actions will have consequences, for better or for worse. Only time will tell. Matt Brown, Israel Adesanya's legacy on the line in fourth fight against Alex Pereira. Israel Adesanya has a score to settle with Alex Pereira as they face off for the fourth and potentially final time in their careers. Adesanya has come close to victory in their previous encounters, but has fallen short each time, with Pereira delivering devastating knockouts. UFC welterweight Matt Brown believes that this fight is crucial for Adesanya's legacy, as a win would allow him to vanquish his past demons and cement his status as one of the all-time greats, while a loss could completely alter how he's remembered. Brown acknowledges that Adesanya has the skills to defeat Pereira, as he has shown in their previous fights, but the key for him will be to avoid getting caught and to stay mentally sharp for all 5 rounds. Brown believes that Adesanya should focus on performing at his best on the night of the fight and not dwell on their past encounters. He also dismisses the notion of Pereira being an unbeatable monster in the closet, emphasizing that it's all about the mental aspect of the fight. Despite Pereira's undefeated record against Adesanya, Brown remains optimistic that Adesanya will come out on top this time and potentially set up a trilogy in the UFC. He acknowledges that there is a risk of Adesanya getting tagged and having flashbacks of previous fights, but believes that Adesanya has the capability to overcome these challenges and emerge victorious. In conclusion, Brown sees this fight as a defining moment for Adesanya's legacy, with everything on the line. A win would solidify his status as one of the greats, while a loss could cast doubt on his previous accomplishments. Adesanya's mental sharpness and ability to avoid getting caught will be key to his success in this high-stakes matchup against Pereira. Overall, Brown remains optimistic about Adesanya's chances and believes that he has what it takes to come out on top. UFC fans will be eagerly anticipating this fourth showdown between Adesanya and Pereira to see who will come out victorious in this highly anticipated matchup. This is his legacy on the line this weekend, and where he goes from there, hopefully he's not even looking at Sunday and thinking about it. Hopefully this is the last day that matters to him is Saturday, says Brown. With so much at stake, this fight is sure to be one for the history books. Stay tuned for UFC 287 to see how the drama unfolds. Let the showdown begin. Good luck to both fighters. And that's it for today's MMA Flicks news update. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest news, fights, and updates from the world of mixed martial arts. We love hearing from our viewers, so don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts on these 3 exciting news stories, and let us know what else you'd like to see on our channel. Thanks for tuning in to MMA Flicks, your ultimate source for MMA news, and we'll see you in the next video.